Hey folks, I'm back there. Listen, I wanted to ask everyone, would you guys be interested in me doing something like this? Like, I got this trailer, it's all hooked up to power, water, blah, 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 okay? But our old one-room cabin is still on this property down by my mother's domain house. Got no power, no water, doesn't even have the wood stove anymore in it. But it's, built like it was back in the 1800s. It wasn't built in the 1800s, but that's how my dad built it, because he knew design and he knew how to build things. And like he said, you could park a truck on top of that and it would never hurt it. So I think he originally said a tank, but I think he revised that one. Like, an M4 tank would probably not be a good thing to sit on that thing. Anyways, M4 or an Abrams? Oh, I can't remember. Anyways, but it's very cozy in there. We all used to sleep in there before the big house was there. We had a little Ben Franklin. The water we used to get from the spring that's at the bottom of the hill, which my well is part of. And, my mom had these little shelves in there, and, had the dish pans for dishes, and, we had candles for lights in there, and so on and so forth. We had beds in there, like cot kind of beds, but they were like wooden doors that were put on their side with cinder blocks, and then a mattress, like a small mattress, and blankets on that. The four of us would sleep in there, and then we'd all sleep around the wood, the Ben Franklin. We'd all take turns filling it up during the night, like when it was like -20 or something. And back in those days, we had real winters then. There was a lot of times that our pickup, my dad's pickup back at the time wasn't four-wheel drive. We couldn't even get in. We would just park it out here on the road because it was a dirt road in those days. And nobody was around, so we just park it there and have to walk in because you couldn't get in. We didn't even really have a road there. It was just a dirt path that in the summertime you'd run the pickup and the other vehicles back and forth, and it was like one of those. Everything rock underneath it, but it still could be slippery. So anyways, what I was thinking is I've got my camping shit that, I'd like to put it away somewhere, and I have the shed here. But I thought, well, if I'm going to put my camping gear and everything in there, why not bring my cot over there? I got to get a mattress for it anyway. Get a mattress for it. I've got the Big Buddy heater here for now, and I can put it over there with a 20-pound tank, and that'll keep it toasty in there. And it's got big windows you can open up and down to make sure you got, but I mean, nothing's 100% sealed in there. But anyways, and set it up kind of like as a second place to be away from power and everything. Because, I mean, over on that side of the property, it'll be deadly quiet. Like, there'll be nothing. Because, I mean, there's this whole, noisy trailer and cats and refrigerators and God knows TV running and the air, the air for the weed tent. So anyway, I wanted to ask you what you guys thought. Like, we could film that whole thing over there while I not refurbish it, just, put it back together kind of thing. And, eventually I'll find another used wood stove. Like I got one for here. I'll put that in there, and then we'll have the wood stove in there. And, just be a place to get away from here, but still close by, So anyway, let me know what you guys think of that. Put it down in the comments. I'd like to hear, because I think that'd be fun to film all that. I can get there with the once the ATV's back online here, which will be soon, and I'll be able to go back and forth. I can cut through the property. That'll be an adventure in itself in the winter, but it'll be fun. And go back and forth. But once I'm there, we stay the night, whatever, do some filming, sleep, wake up, make breakfast there, things like that. So anyways, and that way there too, I can bring all my gear that I want to keep good. Or like, like right now, I just need my ice fishing gear and my ice fishing big, Jason Mitchell clam tent, whatever. Keep that all in here, and if that's all that's in there, I can just walk in and grab it, my auger, my ice auger. Anyway, but yeah, I'm thinking about doing that. So let me know what you think about that. So, because I see a lot of guys doing stuff like that, I'm going, fuck man, I got something right here that's already built. But it just, once the big house was built, nobody stayed in there except for family when they came here. My brother lived in there for a time. He ran a cord from my mother's, but the cord was like, fuck, it must have been 600 feet long. I don't even know how it worked, because it's a pair, to run a cord. Anyways, I put my coffee in here. I just thought, well, you know what? I could bring the camp stove there too. I can make my coffee and do all that. So, I mean, yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool. I don't know what you guys think. There's even an old steel comb and cooler in there that we used to keep stuff. And what we would do is that we would put things like water and things like that and then leave it sit outside even when it was cold, because it would never let anything freeze, but it kept it cold. Now, I'm sure if it sat out there for a month in -30, yeah, everything inside would freeze. But that's what we used to do. And there's mice in there. Who knows, I might bring one of the cats with me. Maybe Wally or something can come with me there and spend the night with me. What do you think about that, Wally? What if we went over to the old one-room cabin? One we all lived in at one time. He's not... Him and Blackie are wrestling here, so... It's like, human, fuck off, we're doing things. Yeah. Oh, that's Blackie knocking the camera. Blackie, stop that, buddy. That phone is supposed to go back, although I'm regretting telling them I was bringing it back, because they still would send me the new phone, and then I'd have 2 phones to film with. I don't know, I have to figure it out. I'm going to talk to somebody at TELUS there maybe tomorrow, see what's up. At one point they said that all I would owe was $190 if I kept the phone. I could live with that probably. Because, I mean, it's a great camera, and I mean, I don't need it as a phone. I'll just strip everything out of it except to use it as a camera. So, yeah. So there we go. Let me know what you think. We used to call it the Shabin. It was my dad's cabin. No, sorry, my mom's cabin and my dad's shed. So hence Shabin. Except we lived in the fucking thing. And all family that came up there. I mean, I remember we had family in there. There'd be the 4 of us, assuming both of us boys were here. Then my cousins would come up. There'd be like 6 of us in there. And then some staying out at the campsite, because we have a campsite across from it. There's something I should refurbish too. We had a whole campsite there with a with a stone thing that my dad built for cooking and keeping heat and stuff. And yeah, my mother actually, that would really tickle her if we put that back and, you know, put it back to use too. She loved that campground. She still talks about it to this day. I do too. I mean, I think about those times. That was the 70s. It was great. So, anyways, yeah. So maybe a little project. We could the shed we can start here in the winter. I don't mind. Like I say, unless I'm going ice fishing. But I mean, I can whip over there and pick up my heater anytime I need it. Once the Grizzly's back running. It'll start right up now. The Grizzly just won't go forward or backward without a belt. So, all right, guys. Anyway, we'll cut this. Let me know what you think. We'll call it the Lad in the Woods. I don't know, homestead house put back to rights or something. I don't know what's the words. Anyway, let me know what you think. If anybody's even interested. Doesn't matter if you are or not. I'm going to do it anyway. So my mother will be tickled, and that's at her age. You know, doesn't hurt to do a few nice things like that. So, something that goes to her heart, not just handing her a bottle of whiskey going, Merry Christmas, Mom. Anyway, see y'all later. Bye.